Also, the tools that I'm using: masters, guards, liners. To start off, I go by the name of LadyBarber. Here, I'm cutting my client. I've been cutting him for a while now, so I'm pretty much used to his hair. He has a very fine texture of hair. As we start to do the cut, I'm just going to outline his beard, but I'm not going to make it precise. I'm just going to do an outline because I go back behind with my razor to make it perfect and precise. Again, it's about pulling the skin when you're cutting up the client, so you won't cut them on mistake. And the skin is so flexible, you want to be able to guide your clippers and your liners in the right direction of the client's hair while you're lining it, trimming it, or whatsoever. So here we just cleaned it up pretty much very well with my liners, and we're just doing this tutorial on the beard area. We're going to focus on the beard here. So always get in the back, make sure all that's cleaned up very well. Again, it's just the motion in the wrist. Most female barbers always use a light touch when they're cutting or lining. Also, most barbers make the mistake by cutting from the top first, which in school they simply teach us to actually start from the bottom as a guideline so that the beard on both sides will be even. But I just made that mistake, but I will go back and start from the bottom and do it the correct way. So you viewers that really want to learn how to perfect the beard, the proper way is to start from here at the bottom, so you can have a perfect guideline all the way around, so the top pretty much will be even. Make sure you clean it up very well. The beard, the neck area, clean up all the hair very well around there, so that the client will be clean all the way around, and it will actually make your cut of the beard stand out much, much more the cleaner the areas are around it. Right here I use Dorco blades, one of the top of the lines. Most barbers prefer other blades, but Dorco pretty much is flexible. It works great for me. It's very light. You have to have a very light touch. I don't have any complaints by cutting any of my clients because I have a light touch when I use my razor blade. As I start to line my client up with the razor, it's always good to pull the skin because the skin is so flexible and you want to get every piece of hair. Most barbers don't use the technique of getting to the back and you come on down to the lining and pretty much follow your guide with your razor, which is what the spritz is made for, to give you a perfect lining. One of my main things, a lot of guys, my first time clients, the reason why I keep them is because when you use a razor blade, most men like it, but most men don't because of the razor bumps that it leaves. But if you really have a clean blade for each client and also a light touch, it will avoid most hair bumps. And most hair bumps come from when the hair is not cut in the proper direction. It turns underneath the skin and then forms a bump, which becomes a hair bump. So it's really good to take your time when you're using a razor, especially to follow the threads, follow the patterns of the hair, not just in the hair itself, but also in the beard. Here I'm taking my masters. I closed them all the way, and I'm just trimming his beard. He likes to wear pretty lengthy, not too long, but just enough to blend into like a mini Rick Ross look. So I boost my ego up because I feel like I have a soft touch when it comes to grooming a man and giving them what they want and perfecting it to the best of my ability. Here I'm using my liners, and you have to get all the way in the corner, take your time, pretty much use a steady hand. And great lightening is the key also, because hair can be so fine that you'll make a mistake of not getting all of it. Just taking my liners and trimming it. Perfecting, not yet perfecting, but just lining up his goatee, so it'll be perfect. So when I get ready to go back over it with the razor, it'll be better. I try with each one of my cuts to put my all into it because I want to make my client feel good and make them want to come back for more services by myself. So again, now I'm going to use my liquid razor, which I use Spritz by Fantasia actually, to make my lining crispy before I hit it with the razor itself. So I just comb it out so I can see which direction I'm going in with it. My name is Jovan Curry. I've been cutting for 3 or 4 years now. I'm from LadyBarber College, Chicago. Came out to be one of the best students there at the college. Very great college to go to. The name of my business actually is Cuts for Moments, because I decided to cut for moments like this. Is that you have to follow the grain. You have to follow the grain, and that's another way that you stop hair bumps from coming and forming. And as far as following the patterns, you have to be very careful, especially the clients with fine hair, such as this one here, that you have to follow the direction of the hair, which is either against the grain or with the grain. With the grain is actually going with the pattern of the hair. Against the grain is actually going the opposite against it, and grain is considered hair. That's an important key to do when you're cutting also. Also, at the end of each cut, whether you're doing the hair or the beard, you always want to clean them up with either a witch hazel or alcohol. I use the green alcohol. You can dilute it with maybe 30% water. So if you use it on kids too, you won't hurt the kid. I didn't do it in this tutorial, but you can go ahead after you hit them with the alcohol. Go ahead and hit the beard or the hair with a little oil sheen, which will give a little shine, a little flavor also. Okay, and if you would like to see any hair videos by myself, which I go by LadyBarber from Chicago, Illinois. Address is 1316 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, at Hollywood's Barber and Beauty Salon. You can also follow, like I said, more videos on hairtakeover.com, and I'll be there with more videos of different techniques of different haircuts.